I've been with Martin Saddlery for several years. We've developed a couple different barrel racing saddles, and the partnership that we have together I'm very proud of. But in traveling and talking to the different barrel racers throughout the country, I would listen to them talk about their barrel racing saddles and maybe some things that that saddle wasn't doing for them, or that they weren't getting that specific feel that they were looking for. So Martin Saddlery and we decided to try to maybe help them find that feel.
Yeah, I really like it. I like how comfortable it is, and I really like how high the cantle comes back here. I feel like I'm really sitting down in my saddle good.
Compared to your other brands that you've rode, how's it?
It doesn't come up as high as my saddle I ride on her, and I kind of like that. I like how I can still sit down, but I'm not too far up. So it feels pretty good, and I like where my feet are sitting a lot. They're not pushed too far forward.
Those girls that are maybe searching for that feel that they're not getting from other saddles, I think that it's gonna help them. You know, the one thing that what I love about my saddles is that I don't have to think about where it's placing me or what it's doing to me during my run. All I have to worry about is riding my horse and concentrate on competing. And I'll have to think about, oh, I really need to get my feet forward because the saddle's gonna shove my feet behind me. I gotta really, you know, sit back because it's gonna lean me forward. It fits me. And you know, I know there's lots of people out there that are riding the Crown C, but like I said, in talking to other barrel racers throughout the country and that feel that they're looking for, and when they talk about their saddle, you shouldn't have to be telling me when you come out of the arena what your saddle's doing to you. You should tell me what your horse is doing. And so, you know, that's why we really feel like the Stingray is going to help you find that feel that you're looking for, to where you don't really have to think about your saddle.
So it felt really good. I felt like I was in position, and I was able to ride her two-handed and feel like I was sitting good in the saddle and that we were gonna make good turns, and everything felt great. I really liked the saddle. My old saddle, I get thrown out. My butt gets like way out more easily. My saddle has a taller horn, so I like the smaller horn, and I feel like I'm really sitting down. So I felt like around the turns I didn't get thrown out at all. I was able to sit down, but I was able to get back up and keep going. I'm a pretty aggressive rider, and so I get kind of out of control sometimes, but I felt like I was able to sit down and get my arms back up and forward still.
So we have this great idea. We're gonna come out with a new saddle, but somebody's gotta be behind the whole process of getting that feel into a saddle. And Brian Peterson, who's the general manager at Martin Saddlery, he and I worked together from day one, and you know, he's awesome at figuring out what us barrel racers want, because if you think about it, trying to get what we want and that feel and put it into a saddle, making it all come together, it's kind of difficult.
It's easier to stay in the middle. My feet are staying where they need to be. I mean, you know, I don't feel like they're getting behind me. Okay, well, there's something about the seat. I don't know if it's the contour of it, the depth of it, but it's comfortable. And I'm just saying that because I happened to have ride just a few days ago in a saddle, and it was like it made my pocket of my jeans pinch the whole time I rode because of how the back of the seat set. So this is very comfortable back there. Not that, you know, you're always on your pockets, but at the same time, you couldn't even, like just to walk, it was kind of uncomfortable in the back part of that saddle, and this one feels much better. that was a good first barrel. Because she's been, for some reason, we've had a problem. I think it's more rider than horse, but where she's cut me off going in, so then we're way out going to the second. But I think I'm not with her when we leave either to help her stay straight and go like we need to. But I felt like we did off that one, come off the first. Yeah, I think my favorite thing is the stirrup positioning compared to what I've been riding. And this one I feel like it's a natural in line with my hips where they're hanging. I didn't feel uncomfortable sending her in this saddle. Like I've been on some others that I'm like, this just doesn't feel good just walking around or slow work, so I don't want to just lay it all on the line out there, not knowing how that's going to work out. But I didn't feel that with this one.
Really what I want at the end of the day, it's what you barrel racers want. And so we wanted feedback and to know, if we were headed in the right direction. And definitely, Brian was a big part of that, putting that in as many barrel racers' hands as he could. And when I would travel, I had a test ride with me, and I'd put it in, the girls that were going down the road, let them ride it and tell me what they think. And I kind of feel like it's like you can never stop learning. And even though maybe I knew they had saddle sponsors or they were committed to somebody, I just wanted to know their opinion. And I think it's good to stay open-minded about your opinions, and you can always learn something new from somebody. And so that's what we did.
This summer I got an opportunity to ride what they called a test saddle from Cervi. Can I start that over? He just headbutted me. Quit. I rode a bunch of different brands of saddles my whole life, and I had a lot of trouble on one horse, especially sitting down, and it has made a big difference. I feel like I'm not over his front end. I like the way that it feels, it rides. I would have another one. I want another one. I ride it on colts, good horses, everything that I've got, and I really like it.
I wasn't looking for a saddle in particular, but I do like to try new things, and so I decided to try the new Stingray. I instantly fell in love with it after a couple of days. I've ridden like cow horse and showed horses, so I really struggle with my body position, barrel racing. So with the fenders moved more forward, I can ride more off of my feet instead of my seat. And so therefore when I'm running my horse, I can actually get out of her way. And I really struggled with that. So the Stingray gave me more confidence, and it was a more natural feel. Now I'm like in the verge of where I need to sell my other saddles to purchase a Stingray, because I just feel more comfortable in it. I'm more confident in my riding, so I hate to go back to the old style saddle that I was using.
I rode the Stingray on not only my finished horses that I college rodeo on, but also my 3-year-old futurity horse, and it felt great on all of them. It kept my feet straight down where I like them, and I was able to get a deep seat without feeling confined, and I really liked that feeling. I didn't think that I would notice that much of a difference, and I went from riding my regular saddle on one horse to the Stingray on my other horse, and just getting in the different saddles within a few minutes of each other, I was really surprised at the difference I felt.
A friend recommended the Martin saddle. I had tried several saddles for my gelding I was having trouble with, and the older that I've gotten, I felt uncomfortable and felt like I was getting thrown around and just didn't feel safe and secure. And riding the Stingray, I felt comfortable, I felt close, close contact, and when my gelding would lunge really hard off the first barrel, I felt like I was secure, like I wasn't going to go anywhere, and felt very centered. I didn't feel like I was going to get thrown over the front of the saddle horn or anything. Didn't feel like, oh my gosh, I actually have to hold on real tight so I don't get thrown over. I felt like I was right where I needed to be at all times. I work at an equine vet clinic here in Weatherford, Texas, and daily we have clients that come in and they're looking for a saddle that, saying I have problems with this horse and that horse, and trying to find a saddle that'll fit themselves and their horse. And I recommend the Martin Stingray to everyone that comes in.
I do feel very balanced in this saddle, but I feel like I can get a really deep, secure seat in it. Oh, I was very anxious to try this. I always love what Martin comes out with. I've been in the BTR, I've been in the FX3, and now the Stingray, and I love every single one of them. But my initial reaction of this saddle is I love this saddle. very, very deep seat, feet out in front of me. I never got behind my horse in this seat, but if I need to, I can get up over him. I mean, if you were to tell me or ask me which saddle I like more, I don't know. Well, and that's like what I noticed with this is I can feel the saddle on the sides of my pockets. I can get really deep and low in this saddle. Oh, I like it. I really like this saddle. I like it a lot.
So for me, I probably will, stay riding the Crown C. That's the saddle that I've rode since it came out, and I really like it. It fits my style of riding. I have a Stingray in my trailer, and so to throw it on maybe a horse here and there. I'm not going to say that I'm not going to ever ride it, but day in and day out, I like the Crown C. I like the way that it sits me. I can get up over one or I can sit down. I like where it places my legs. They're pretty straight. When I sit, they're straight underneath me, but I don't feel constricted where I can't move my feet. And so, it fits me, and I get asked a lot now that the Stingray's come out, am I switching? And I'm not, because I love the Crown C, but that's just my personal opinion.